that charisma that makes you believe, that makes you like think whatever he says, like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, let's go do it. And he's willing to make the small sacrifices for his team as well. He said, be a lightning rod for criticism. Always stick his neck out there for his players. And, that's what makes him such a great coach.
So it's an interesting clash between these two teams. Very quickly then, quick predictions from each of you.
I think it's going 3 games.
Okay, that's the prediction I like.
I'm going to give Secret the edge, though.
Okay, Lucas?
I'm going to go with Secret as well. Gonna go with my EU boys here.
Okay, Jack?
I think these are two very similar teams. They both handle the late game and those details later on in team fights very well. But I think Vici's early game has been a bit more stable. I think Secret might have started to lose confidence in some of their other lineups. So I'm going with Vici 2-1 or 2-0.
All right, good stuff. That's it from our main panel. But time to get into our first game of the day. Secret versus Vici.
10 seconds remaining.
Welcome everybody to the draft panel. My name is Tsunami. I'm here joined by CCNC and BSJ, two North American titans of industry. CCNC, I'm glad you're here because specifically, I've had a few questions about mid one this tournament. Me over analyzing it.
To be honest, I think a lot of times on these super high tier teams, whenever individual players look like they're having, weak spots or they're having bad games, I think a lot of times the type of player that will always he'll always because of the way the game plays out, it may look like he's having an off game or something, and maybe that occasionally happens, but I think as a player he is as stable as a mid player as you're going to get.
Yeah. Oh, one of the main points I want to make about Secret's drafts is at the start of the main event, when they weren't having much success, they lost 3 out of the first 4 games. They didn't draft very much team fight at all. And something I believe is one of the easiest ways to lose to on-paper teams that are weaker than you is to have weaker team fight, meaning that you have to play the map, you have to be efficient, you can't have any unnecessary deaths. And if you do, TI, we've talked about the mistakes that happen, right? And like he said, sometimes if the game where you can't fight the opponent team and you can't really split push or anything like that, it becomes really complicated. And sometimes it just shows, even on the best players in the world, that if the game's not straightforward to play, and like you said, out of your comfort zone, you're just not going to look like the class of player that you are.
And I think that's why Secret looks so dominant over the course of the season. Anytime I spoke to any other team, they were just like, Secret they're the best team fighters in Dota. They're the best team.
10 seconds remaining.
You're willing to give up some ground in the early stages of the game because whenever 5v5 engagements start rolling around, your vision
I think they've been prioritizing this hero very highly, and sort of what BSJ said about this team fight. There's sort of these TI heroes that people fall back to, your Earthshakers, your Tidehunters, Enigmas, Voids, things like this that we see being picked quite a bit right now that make the game simple. They make the game, you have this hero that's going to stand in front of your tower and you can't go on him. If you go on him, he's going to press Ravage and you're going to get wiped, and it allows you to, play for this win condition, pick your hero that's going to outscale the other heroes, and you can sort of sit and defend your towers and play the game in just a very stable, calm way that makes it, easy for, your puppy to just say, yeah, let's just sit here and let's defend this tower and farm up because Nisha's going to carry this game.
When teams have been picking Tide against Secret, I was going to highlight the Void Ban as well as Enigma. Team Secret has liked to pick heroes with stuns that aren't purgeable by Kraken Shell. Because like he said, if you go on him, he gets the Kraken Shell off Ravage, suddenly you're going to lose the team fight. And if you have that straightforward way to say, we're going to use this ability to kill that guy, it just makes the game way easier to play. And with Team Secret, they had picked Tiny absolute first pick the last 3 games that it was given to them. And I like to see that Vici Gaming banned it out because it sets up the Void so well, the most potent combo we've seen with the tiny axe throwing the trees and basically one-shotting any hero that gets chronoed.
So the Void gets banned out. There's still the potential for the Enigma that you mentioned. Is there any reason why you think Secret went for a Rubik as opposed to like a Grimstroke, who is another hero that has one of those unpurgeable Kraken Shell, can't get rid of the silence kind of situations? It's just comfort for Secret.
Man.
It's just the Yapsor.
You get to steal the Ravage. Why not have your own Ravage? You know?
True.
So, okay, yeah, so it was Rubik on 4. It was 2-3 Tide Lush. Okay,
Correct,
yeah,
yes.
I didn't see the order. Yeah, I mean, I think Rubik is also a pretty solid hero against Leshrac. It's one of these heroes that has, you know, you steal this nuke and you have this Fade Bolt, and Leshrac wants to come in, he wants to edict your tower, he wants to be able to walk in this ball, and whenever you have this 4 that has this strong outpush, it makes it very difficult to just walk up to the tower because you're getting low, and then suddenly you're in this HP range where they're going to jump you with their Blink Dagger, and you're going to instantly die. So it gets harder to like push these towers. You can also steal the Edict, which is pretty nice, but I'm sure at some point in this draft, Vici's going to pick some nuke, and Yapsor's going to steal it, and he's going to be level 9 sitting at the mid tower, just de-pushing this wave, and it's going to get really annoying for Vici.
And even without that, the Elder Titan provides a hell of a lot of D-push. And, well, there's a hero with nukes galore and disable galore. Vici Gaming going for a Lion.
So is Secret going to respond with the teamfight disables of their own, or are they going to pick something like Abaddon that we've seen some teams prioritizing against these high disable lineups? I think there's kind of 2 different ways they can go with this direction. Do you have any idea, Quinn?
I think an Abaddon or an Omni Knight is definitely possible. We sort of talked about like how Secret have these, you know, these supports that make it very hard to run into your territory, so you can sort of, you know, outspam the waves, keep Vici Gaming at bay with the Centaur. So I mean, it gives you the blink stun, it gives you the burst, the jump, but they won't have these saves. So, you know, they do have this deep push to keep people off towers, and they're going to play for their Blink Dagger timings and, you know, have niche on some hero that's going to be able to farm his BKB, because for a while it's pretty difficult to fight into Vici's heroes if you don't have this, you know, this carry getting really fat. And that is something that Secret's heroes do very well, is they're able to play in this ball, they're able to be this sort of 4-man unit, potentially with mid-one's hero, to stave off, you know, this Vici Leshrac coming at your towers, Tide backing him up, so you can, you know, buy time for Nisha to have this BKB unkillable carry to slay them.
So you're already assuming that a BKB is coming early on. Does that mean that Lifestealer is a
I was
possibility?
thinking the same thing.
Because if you want a hero that needs to build BKB, why not just have your own built in?
No, for sure. I mean, I think that's definitely possible. It's a great suggestion. I think it's a very good hero against Tide. I mean, it's good against all of Vici Gaming's heroes on paper, and, you know, like you said, has that BKB early on for free. So you get to, you know, chill and sort of farm up in places you wouldn't normally be able to, and, you know, get to that crucial item timing where Tidehunter isn't this, you know, unkillable beast anymore.
I like that Team Secret is sticking to their comfort zone heroes. I was going to take note that they've basically, Vici hasn't picked a single hero other than Warlock more than once this entire main event. While Team Secret, they had picked Tiny Void every game, and they've picked these heavy team fighters. Centaur, they've gotten 80% win rate so far, including the group stage. And I think that like this Rubik Centaur combo, as a carry player myself, it's just so hard to lane against. You're always under threat of just getting lifted into Centaur stomped and losing 80% of your health.
Vici Gaming going with Earth Spirit. There is so much disable on the side of Vici Gaming, and it's all very easy to combo. As long as, you know, you manage to get a roll that connects randomly, all of a sudden the Split Earth might come in, or you land with a Hex early on, then, you know, Tidehunter is going to be feeling very, very, you know, willing to ravage if anyone from Secrets tries to stampede in to save that Axe target.
5 seconds.
Yeah, I think with the Earth Spirit pick, potentially they're sort of telegraphing. They're going mode pull the waves and, you know, potentially look to kill in the other lanes. When you pick a Lion, he's not a particularly strong laning support. He's all right. But then when you have this Lion Earth Spirit, I think their Earth Spirit may potentially look to pull waves. They keep this Tide on an island a little bit, and they look at the Centaur and they say, you know, he's the only guy who's going to really make plays early on, and they may look to just sit on this guy's head with, you know, with this trial and repeatedly kill him and be very annoying.
Gyro, one of those mid-game carries that goes so well with ET just because the spirit itself from ET is what gives the magic amp. So having this hero like Gyro that can make use of basically them doing pure damage, right? When it reduces all of your base magic resistance. And then also, I really like Team Secret drafting Kunkka, or like that's what I'm looking for from them. It is kind of an unpurgeable stun with the X. You can't remove that with Kraken Shell. It's a hero that has actually been the most banned hero against them this entire tournament, and often has been first round banned. So I'm curious to see if Vici looks to ban that. I think it's pretty good in lane against Lesh, is it not? Or
no, for sure. I think like another, yeah. I mean that was a great ban. I mean, Secret already has, like you said, they have so much magic damage. Like it's not easy for Vici to run in, and then they get this. All right, let's see what they replace it with.
oh,
Is that?
Is that mid-IO, carry-IO? What's
what are
going
the
on
lanes here, boys?
It might be mid-gyrocopter and
Carry-IO?
carry-IO.
IO?
I mean, gyrocopter, I mean, one of the things about first phasing, you know, Alesh, and then telegraphing that it's mid is that you get to pick your... So I was sort of confused about the gyrocopter pick because as a carry, it doesn't have a particularly great matchup against Tidehunter.
Yeah.
Tide's generally considered one of the better heroes against gyrocopter. Gyro is very good against Leshrac in the game. The lane is like an even lane, which is, you know, something that a gyrocopter is pretty happy getting out of here with pretty low base damage. And I haven't seen Nisha play the IO carry, but maybe he can. You know, like OG's, you know, favorite duo with this IO is this IO ET, because you have this boss lane, you have this supercharged ET running and slapping everyone, so I get the CS with this kind of, you know, weak start. I feel like a Tide would have a pretty rough time laning against that if that's what Secret's going for.
So do you think Secret were willing to go for this because once the Earth Spirit came out, it became pretty much confirmed that Leshrac was going to be played mid? And then once you know the mid lane matchup, then you're like, all right, you know, I can send Pyro there. He can handle Lesh.
I think that's definitely part of it. That would be really cool if Secret played this, because I've never seen Nisha play it before.
Yeah, taking a page out of OG's book.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing about IO that got nerfed since he was one of the most broken heroes in all of Dota was the early game regen. And now, since you don't have to partner with the Medusa or with the gyrocopter in lane, you can still be the same hero you are in later in the game. And I think it's this. This lineup from Vici, Medusa as a hero, you have a lot of catch with the Lion Leshrac, who's going to build the Yules, but I think the Wisp lineup's going to just kite them around the map. I feel like Secret will be able to take the engagements they want to take, but they're going to be scrapping. They still have a lot of team fight poke with the Rubik and the ET. I personally like the way it's going to work out for Secret this game.
All right, then. We're going to have to answer a couple of questions, but I've got just the man to do it. I've got Purge with the last word.
I really like what Secret did with their lineup here. They opened up the Elder Titan, and that gives them the potential to do a lot of magic damage. But what was cool is that they didn't really show their cards right away. They held their core important heroes until the later points in the draft, filling their lineup in with Rubik, who also works very well with ET, as well as the Centaur. Lots of magic damage and gives them the ability to disengage. On the other side, Vici Gaming focused on a lot of stunner-type, teamfight-type heroes because it's going to make it easier for them if they do get a catch to secure those kills. And then finally, they grab the Dusa to round things out. That's going to make it very difficult for Secret to initiate on them because he can take tons of damage and turn team fights if things go a little bit bad for them, and they can back that up with their extra stuns. So what Secret is trying to do on the other side with their carry IO is deal even more magic damage and also give them a lot of tempo that's going to push them into the mid game, where he can not only be a carry himself but make Gyrocopter even better. It's going to be an incredible match. This is an elimination match, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Let's throw it over to the casters.
Yes, we are totally ready for VG versus Secret. It seems these teams are just destined to meet in the lower bracket of TIs. Last time they met in lower bracket round 2. Now they're a little bit further on the competition, and the meta's developed up a little bit, and it seems like Team Secret's taking a leaf out of OG's book.
Yeah, this is definitely something that must have caught Vici Gaming by surprise. I think it's the first time Secret play IO in the whole tournament, I want to say. I don't think they've played it on support a single game. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but nothing comes to mind at least. And they're putting it on Nisha, which is, like you said, it's an OG strategy, basically.
Yeah.
But that said, it's not exactly the OG strategy, because yes, you do have the Elder Titan IO lane that OG have been playing, but the difference this time around is you don't have the same, like the OG draft that we saw on the main stage with the IO, OG played it around this mid-game timing where they have really, really good sustain and just end the game. They had a Bristleback, then an Omni Knight.
Yep.
Secret's lineup this time, they don't have that sustain. They don't have this Omni Knight to keep people alive. IO is a lot more susceptible, and they don't have this really tanky front line apart from the Centaur. So I feel like the strategy will work very differently than what you saw from OG 2 days ago, I think it was.
I'm also wondering how the sync actually works between both Nisha as well as Mid1. It feels like OG does it so well because of the way Anna and Thompson play these kind of hybrid 1-2s, and then they sync up together to become this sort of like, what is it? We're saying morphing together? What is that? I forgot what that term is. Oh, I call myself a nerd.
Tether?
Okay, we'll call it tether, but yeah.
Tandem.
Tandem. Okay, tandem. Yeah, like a bike. But yeah, so Team Secret, like how does that actually work with them? How do they play to this kind of timing? We're going to see as this game unravels. The other thing which kind of surprised us, and Purge was flagging too, was just like that first phase pickup. You got the ET, you got the Rubik, you decided to actually show both the supports at the very beginning. Do you think that's also because like Team Secret, like we're going to surprise you with our 5th pick anyway?
I think either you go for the Rubik there, or based on the tournament so far, you would have gone for Faceless Void, because he's good against the Tide, he's good against the Leshrac, and you already have the Elder Titan that can combo with the Chrono, but the decided Rubik was more valuable to get for YapzOr. Perhaps, I think both teams play both Void and the Rubik, so I don't think necessarily there's a direct argument that you take it away from Vici Gaming. As for Vici, they're going to find a D-ward here immediately for Fade. That's a great start for him. Vici are very comfort heroes too. They've got Ori on his signature, Medusa in the mid lane. Paparazzi/Rack has been really, really good this tournament. Strong supports from them, as well as Yang on the Tidehunter, which Vici Gaming and LGD both have considered probably the best offlaner in Dota right now. They're rated over everything else in that role.
And this actually has to be a very scary top lane. D1, actually a 3-man stun. Sure, we'll have ourselves a 45-second Ravage. So I was going to say, like, it's going to be a really rough lane for Vici Gaming because you're running an aggro tri-lane into an ET. This normally doesn't end well for you, especially with the combination of the IO. The IO and the ET is also that classic kind of combination.
Fade.
Did he just...
Outplaying Puppey. Puppey went to Sentry, opened the camp, and Fade was already there, and he instant tangoed Puppey's Sentry, so that's a Sentry wasted, and that means there's no pull. That's a big deal for Secret up here. When you play Try versus Try in your own safe lane, you want to pull this camp. You also want to be able to use the creeps for Astral Spirit as Elder Titan, but they're just not letting him. Puppey won't have access to that many creeps to run that Spirit through. And Vici Gaming's lane, sure, Elder Titan is strong in Triumphs, but look at how strong Vici's lane is on paper. Triple stuns, lots of AoE damage, and 2 ranged heroes as well.
Just great control if someone does want to initiate. They can answer back. The bottom lane is also a bit of a fun melee versus melee. No one should be dying down here. It's Tidehunter versus the Centaur. And so far, it's just a full CS game. And then the mid lane, Ori versus mid-1. Mid-1's just harassing with the rockets, but he's out of mana. Problem with the level 2 Mystic Snake is mid-1's never really going to have that mana up and running.
And something that wasn't mentioned about the Medusa this game that you just reminded me with the rocket is Secret don't have really good single target damage. Oh, hang on top lane. Fade bolts? It's gonna be fine. So, what you generally want to have against Medusa, is it fine?
Oh, actually, yeah, maybe it's not. Yeah, so I cut the lift, but then again, they turn around. That's what happens when you initiate. The kick came through. Puppey, the chainsaw from Lion. They're bringing down the other side. Ninja trying to get the life. D-Boy, barely to get Paparazzi the first blood against Puppey.
They were fighting through a 3-man Fate Bolt. They had so little damage to work with, but it was still just enough. So about Medusa, generally the way you kill Medusa in fights is that you have some heavy single target damage or that you can kite her and kill her team. And I don't think Secret's lineup is particularly adept at either. They don't have very good single target damage. Gyros is spread damage carry. Io, once it gets the Spirit talent and the Ags, decent, but not fantastic by any means. And your kiting potential is primarily built around the Centaur Stampede, which is obviously a key cooldown that you will have to have available. So I like the Medusa pick a lot here, and we'll see.
Going again. Puppey started this one off. The split earth buys some time for the rolling boulders, just chaining Sun into Puppey, and then DY creates the body block. YapzOr wants to go for more because it's YapzOr with the fade bolt and the last attack. He'll get the kill. May lose his life. The split earth from Paparazzi gets the chase on. Nisha again trying to give the life back with the stick charges. It's able to work, and YapzOr over onto the side of the tree lines. Lightning slowing down Puppey, so he cannot keep the attack going. But DY, it's just never-ending stick charges in this try versus try lane. Oh, and you'll fade so close to getting that rolling boulder up. But with the kick, the slow is still going to be there. So DY helping get the stun for Puppey, putting Paparazzi to sleep. Means they don't get the chase up with the lightning into the trees. Again, these stick charges. Nisha getting them all up and running. So Puppey back into the fight with a plus 60 damage. YapzOr's coming over, doesn't have a lot of life. Neither does Nisha. Man, Team Secret, they're being drained of life, but they just keep sustaining through it.
This is a brawling lane. Every hero has a magic stick on both teams, except for the Earth Spirit, who's probably going to buy it next. He prioritized getting boots. Vici Gaming are not really trying to go on the IO, though. They're going on both the Rubik and the Elder Titan as their priority, and that means, obviously, that they will have that double regen running with both IO as well as the hero they go on having regeneration. So maybe they feel like we have to pressure the Elder Titan so that he can't just fight back, and if we go on the IO, the trade's going to be unfavorable. It's just a bit uncharacteristic to see this in this kind of lane.
And someone's going to have to do something about this stack on the side. FaZe finally rotating off, looking to come towards mid-1. Mid, actually, just a stun up in the tree line. But Vici, no. Nietzsche can easily tether himself over towards Puppey. There's the setup for the 5-minute bounty runes. Fade can't get anything. It'll be a straight 2-for-2 trade-off. Yang also got a little bit more of an advantage in the bottom lane. He found a regeneration rune at 4 minutes and was able to bottle it up. So he's been very much in the face of Zai, who's having to do it a little bit tougher. But it's still pretty much equal CS on the bottom lane. And equal in the level.
Zai popped the retaliate stacks. He hits hard. Stealing a lot of damage to Yang. He might have to solo kill him.
Then the regen spin to help him. End up having triggered a little early, so Salve and Bottle charge up while up on top lane. Here we go again. Yapstor stampeded forward, right over the top of Paparazzi. They got the movement speed. Team Secret to walk over VG Gaming under the tier 1 tower. Zai hit 6 and instantly Secret make global use of it.
That TB down from Fade made the top lane move extremely easy. The moment Zai forces this rotation, they know that, okay, top lane can very easily get kills here. And Vici Gaming are going to swap their lanes around. They bring the Leshrac bottom. They feel like this top lane is not inhabitable anymore. And I think that's probably a good choice after they've lost multiple heroes up here. But you're still faced with the problem of, yeah, now your Leshrac is going to be laning against a level 6 Centaur. That's not that great either.
Radiant's top tower.
As long as Zai feels he can still be down here, but you need to get something also into your supports. It's kind of been a rough time when you run this tri-lane for as long as you do, Fade. Like, the kills went the way of Team Secret in the aggro tri-lane, so it feels a lot like a failure, and you haven't managed to gank up mid at all.
Dire are scared.
But at least Ori's off to a good start for VG Gaming. That's a nice way. Rolling ball from Fade. The kick will be falling up. Lightning. They're going to go for the rapid straight up. Yang, very liberal. But they need the chainsaws. But you've still got to get through a Centaur. This guy is tanky.
And Vici are showing a bit of nerve. That kill was actually mathematically impossible, I think. When the roll didn't connect, I don't think that... They were not even close, damage-wise, to getting that kill. They're like 500 damage off. Yapsor TP's in for protection, but I don't even think he needed to. At the very least, they force him off the lane. He has to go back to base, so you give Paparazzi a little bit of space, but you paid a Ravage for that?
It feels odd, right? But at least, well, I'd say at least Team Secret react to Vici Gaming's movements, but Zai's made so much space, and yep, here we go again. Great double stomp from DY. Yapstor will still get the pick up. No hold stomp. The hex from DY very quick. And the split earth as well from Paparazzi was going to create the space. Zai, I don't know, I wouldn't say he's an unsung hero. There's been a lot of singing around Zai's performance during this TI, but and yesterday it really felt like Zai was just picking up Team Secret on his back and carrying them through, and today he's getting them off to a very good start in game 1.
Yep. He seems very comfortable with this 1v1 matchup that he had. Mid one's getting some space mid now. Medusa has transitioned into semi-jungling, as this hero has a tendency of doing. We'll probably still go back to mid once in a while to throw out a snake and just nuke out the wave. But ideally, you want to let a support have that space so your entire lineup comes online. And for now, it's going to be taken up by the Earth Spirit. Wonder... It kind of feels like the game's going to slow down a little bit now. Medusa will be jungling. Leshrac needs to play catch-up. EY is fine.
Yeah, they're just battling around the stack, trying to stop the Centaur. But, yeah, as you said, mathematically, there's just not enough damage.
They're not killing that guy right now.
Yeah.
They need +1. It's killable now with 3 heroes because he's half HP. Warding the sentry. Just hoping there was an obs, but the obs from Team Secret is further up. It's covering the attack angle from the bottom river area in case Earth Spirit wants to make a rotation over primarily. They're probably not scared of a Medusa gank.
It's kind of funny when you, like, I'm just keeping my eye on the net worths, and Team Secret were holding 3 at the top 4 positions, and they're starting to move back as the game starts to slow down. VG continues to get these heavy stacks, Ori continues to get more and more farm, and because Yang after he blew the Ravage, he TP'd to the top lane, he's just having a complete free lane. Io was, like, moved off, he went into his northern jungle, then he went to the southern jungle, and what's Puppey able to do? He's just got to drag the creep wave down. It feels like they're not being punished for the downtime of Ravage, but Team Secret, do they even want to punish? Like, you want to keep farming, right, if you're playing this Io?
I don't think your lineup really has punish apart from if mid one gets involved. He's the key hero that has to be part of the move because he has clearly the most damage right now. Io wants to jungle. Io's not going to do very much else. It's also Nisha, that's kind of Secret's recipe. Their playstyle is very much centered around Nisha just farming a lot and the other 4 players making the moves. But if Gyro is not in a position or willing to go anywhere, I just think we have a little bit of a stalemate for now.
Well, we'll battle for the 10-minute runes. Yep, so.
3 for Secret.
Yeah, it will be. Paparazzi's like, maybe I can come up. No. I do not have the levels. I still do not have the damage. Well, he actually have the sustain. Team Secret's building up a lot of, like, well, they've already got a lot of team fight control of their own. I'm wondering how long Paparazzi can survive once the fight begins.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of game where BKB is an absolutely integral item for both teams. Leshrac definitely wants one. Gyro definitely wants one. You might even see BKB IO second item after Axe this game as a possibility. Because I think even if you get the heart, the difference that we talked about when OG play the IO and they go Axe heart is that they hit this timing where the IO feels invincible. I think with a heart you don't feel invincible in this game because you don't have that protection from your teammates that OG built into their IO strategies.
It looks like team fight time. Yapsol came down here with an invis rune. Zai's going to move into the trees. Paparazzi, he's going to actually get the quick silence over on the center. Means that Zai cannot escape. And Team Secret, they committed hard for this one. They brought mid one. You were asking when that rotation would happen. It happened. And PG were ready for them.
And now mid one's gonna have to crawl back to mid. He is now 3 full levels behind Ori. Ori's level 12, minute 11:30. Starting to bang on this mid tower, can very easily tank the tower forever with Mana Shield, so she keeps the siege creep alive. And I don't know if Secret can defend this, but they definitely want to try. They're going to delay as much as possible. They will bring Zai.
Your front liner. With a Hood of Defiance up, he can feel a little bit more stable. Mystic Snake will take a little bit of his mana away.
But Ori isn't scared. Ori's going to keep hitting him.
Gonna gush up. Zai's losing a lot of life. Puppy's gonna have to give the spirit back. It's only so long Zai could tank through this. And remember, there's no backdoor protection. You don't really care anyway. Ori will take this tier 1. He's waiting out the timing for it. Zai actually gets the denial on the tower.
He waited too long. He could have got it for sure, but he started overthinking the situation a little bit. Maybe thought somebody was in the trees ready to deny, and instead Secret do get to connect. So got to be feeling pretty happy about getting that deny. Not so happy about, you know, losing your mid tower.
Yang, a little close. ET's going to throw the spirit out. Tidehunter has some one shot just to give the extra life. Nisha still wants to try and get those balls forward. One more Hadouken, but doesn't want to throw it out. It's getting a little hairy on all the lanes. Even DY's hovering around now. Finger of Death is up, so you got that burst damage, Team Secret. They got great regeneration. The Aghanim Scepter from Nisha is coming quickly.
Bottom tower is under attack.
He's farming really, really well this game. He's uncontested, basically, which, you know, it tells us a little bit about how Vici are approaching the game strategically, what they think. They feel like they can deal with a free farming IO. They have not made a single invasive move with their Leshrac or with their Earth Spirit plus Lion combination. No smokes trying to kill the IO. They're just happy to play their own side of the map, push down towers with Leshrac and the Medusa, and let this game go to a later portion of a mid game where they probably have a really strong timing.
As TP's coming up towards the top lane, Zai, is he thinking about a fight? They have Stampede available. Fade's been waiting underneath the tier 1 tower, which has now fallen on the bottom lane for some kind of fight against mid 1. It seems like everyone's just gonna be waiting off, or will they? BT's up from Paparazzi. There's no tier 1 tower, but heading to mid 1. That movement speed. Away he goes with the Stampede to get him out to safety, trying to get Yapsor on the front lines. DY now being attacked. Mid1 will get back underneath the tower, but DY couldn't get away from the rest of Team Secret. Stampede to escape and attack.
And that's a bit different from when they went on Zai, because he can obviously save his teammates as long as he's not the one who's silenced. Rolling in.
Rolling ball, a little bit short, but he'll still get the kick. Yang's arrived. He has the Ravage available. Yapsol with the Soul Nurse Spike creates a little bit more space, but Zai, he'll hook stomp out. And Ori, he's still sticking with him. Another Mystic Snake. It's going to be good damage. Rolling boulder. It's just going to be the kick. Slow him down so Ori can reach him. Yapsol is able to get a 2-man stun, but it won't stop Ori's attack from flying forward. Zai will now have his second death of the game.
He would have loved to have Stampede again, but he just used it to save mid 1, so Vici Gaming see the opportunity and they pounce. It's a very even game so far in terms of overall net worth, but Vici Gaming are sitting on 3 of the top 4 net worths. The one big winner for Secret, of course, is the IO of Nisha. And I'm just curious to see how they execute this, because we have our level of expectation based on how OG's drafts have worked and how they've played around Ana on that IO. I'm just curious if Secret can show us the same kind of power around this time once the Axe is online.
Yeah.
Because OG, it feels like when they get the IO Axe, they're just ready.
Yeah.
They're just going to start winning fights.
All items are up, all timings are up, all pushes there. It's like, okay, we didn't care if we lost 15 heroes in the first 15 minutes. It's, yeah, Ana was ready to fight.
But do you have the same feeling here that you can just do that as Secret? You just group up with Axe and you're like invincible, you just run in and fight them?
Is it the Centaur who's the front liner that then like becomes like what the bristleback was for him? Is it the combination with Gyro?
IO probably wants to tether the Gyro, right? You've got to assume that, so Zion is the front line. But it's about if you have enough damage. The pipe will be completed, I think, on Tide. Nope, he went Dagger. He was hovering the hood, but changed his mind. Maybe the idea for Liquid, they're playing later, for Vici Gaming is to get on top of the IO, blink Ravage, roll in the Earth Spirit, get off a Magnetize, and just run in Paparazzi and look for those kills.
We're looking towards mid. But you got Yapso right around the corner. There's your blink Ravage right on top of Iron. Paparazzi with the chains on his too late. Nisha able to tether himself up and get back behind the tier 2 tower. Yapso able to steal the Lightning Stampede. Team Secret, they want to get in on this. Paparazzi still uncertain if he wants to fight or not. The ET splitter, this is horrible for Vici Gaming. They can't move back. Paparazzi gets slapped by the rock. And Yang, what else do you really got to give? The Magnetize from Fate creates some spaces. The ears ring of Team Secret. Mid one's already gone down. They jump forward. The Gush slowing down Zai, but Nisha, he's giving all the life back. Here we go for another stomp. Yang not even effective because he's already dead. The now efficiency shrine for Team Secret. And that was the reveal of the Blink Dagger. And what did you get? A kill on mid one.
Yang just jumped the gun there. He went in too early. Leshrac was not in range to do the chain stun, and you have to know that IO is probably going to have tether ready, and there's going to be someone behind that he can connect on, so you need to be able to one-shot that kill. Get everything going in one move, and they couldn't.
Oh, man. My God. He chose to dodge. Nisha relocated in for this one, quickly having his mana burned off by the Mystic Snake. And support this time around is there from VG. Zai just on the other side of the tracks, and Yang gonna blink forward. They're looking for the stomp to put people asleep, but they're not really affected. Great Earth Spike. Zai, another Mystic Snake gonna take a lot of the mana out of Team Secret. So Ori will get 100% back. They're now underneath the VG shrine. Team Secret, is this your turn to go too far? With a Sentinel Stomp controlled by Nisha. They send up Ori. He needs to get back a little bit further. DY will give him that space to do so. Zai is still the front liner for all of Team Secret. The Stone Gate is on. Fade tries to get away. DY looks like he'll be the sacrificial lion. Capsol's able to reach him with the Fade Bolt. Leshrac in a little bit of trouble. That homing missile from mid one's coming in. And with the call down, they may just have what they need. The kick, they tried to get him down. Fade attempted. But it was just a second too late. But Yapso at least gives him some credit.
They need the Ravage to be able to fight this. The IO is just doing way too much work right now. Vici Gaming, they can't get in on top of the IO, so over the course of these fights, Nisha is just slowly but steadily going to whittle everyone down with the spirits. This Aghanim Scepter has proven to be quite insane, some might say.
TP's coming over. Medusa's in trouble. The ET splitter's going to work. DY tries to create some space, but he also gets caught inside the splitter underneath the shrine. Medusa gets a lot of mana back again, but where's the extra life? Trying to get the splitter shots off, but it's just not on anywhere near enough damage. The Tidehunter went to the bottom lane. Wasn't there with the Ravage either. And Team Secrets, like VG Gaming, now come to them. In fact, Paparazzi caught lacking in the mid. But no jump forward, still no blink on Zai.
And that's just a big mistake from Ori, TPing in here. In a very exposed position. Secret, you have to have known that they were somewhere in the neighborhood, and they get a free kill on the Medusa, the top network hero of the game again, and now Vici Gaming are in a lot of trouble. They lost another power. The tempo of the game is ramping up nicely for Secret. Looks like Nisha will still be going for a heart, not the BKB. That was a possible option.
It's damage issues now for VG.
It will be. They will have, just as much as Secret have issues with focus fire, so do Vici Gaming. There's split damage lineup too. You have Leshrac who does split damage, you have Medusa who does split damage. Your only real focus fire is Finger of Death, and that's falling off against this IO very quickly. 2k health currently, sitting on Nisha. And this was even before, keep in mind, this was before Nisha was level 15. Secret took these fights without the actually strong spirits. They're about to come up, and then it gets a lot worse.
Oh, so what do VG do? They smoke up themselves, 3 men together. They'll walk in front of Roshan. They will come for the IO. And they'll come for whatever, how they can find. Radiant will scan up the 20-minute bounty runes. At least what they're able to secure with this smoke. But they need more. They need some extra information. Lion's on the way to go and do it. Observers and sentries, they need to watch the IO's movement. Very high up in the lane. There's that blink from Zai I was looking for. His jump at initiation. I love how too Vici Gaming, they were having that fight around their bottom shrine, and Zai's literally staying in the middle and they're not attacking him. It's like, we cannot, we should not.
Blink pipe, Nisha gets level 15. Secret just hit a huge spike right now in their power. As if it wasn't good enough already, now they're way stronger than before. And Vici Gaming, can you take these fights? It feels like when you're playing against this IO lineup, similar for OG when we saw it earlier, if you make one bad team fight mistake into this team with IO, there's just so much momentum at range deadline.
So easy for Yapsol to steal.
That Ravage kill attempt in mid they did with the Tide Leshrac just cost them
Ori,
their entire grip on the game, basically.
Tier 2 towers are not safe. TP out inside the trees. When that IO is up, he will dive the tower. Like the only safe place Vici seem to be able to work with is inside their own base. Everything else is open season for Team Secret. Vision established on the north side, so the north will come out through there. The Vici will 4-man smoke up through the bottom. DY is the only one not caught inside this. Mid one's revealing himself, but Yapsol, Puppey, Zai, everyone's ready to behind. The Stampede will come out. Jara cupped the finger of death. They still can't get through it. And in fact, relocate, pulls him out. Pyro's already going to go down. Zai did so much damage. The ET's put up, catching the backline soon, so Faze also follows. Vici gave me a falling apart. Yang will try and get something back with this Ravage, but where's the damage? Where is it? It's nowhere. Yang, maybe he'll get something in, so finally kill a Puppey, but the cost is so great. Nisha wants to move forward, putting the balls into Ori. He's got more of them, and well, Medusa just can't outrun the balls.
Surprise Vici. I mean, that fight was so easy to play for Secret, it looked like. They put the Gyro on the front lines. Vici Gaming have the hope that if they roll in and kick him under the tower, that they get both the IO and Gyro out of position. But Nisha could keep him alive from a safe distance. And mid one was totally fine. The jump from Zai protecting with the pipe as well. It was very clearly a Secret being like, hey, come fight us. Obviously a bait, and Vici know it. They choose to take the fight, but they were just not favored in this engagement.
They're letting them take the lane of Rax.
Out of control now. Secret getting Rax minute 22. They might even continue more if they want to. They could back off.
Without the Doozer, it feels like there's no split push. There's no D push. So, hey, why not take at least the tier 3 tower in the bottom lane? You got a 17-second window. And Ori, he's holding that buyback. He does not want to burn it. Meanwhile, Secret will take 2 lanes of Rax.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
How long do they hang around? Homing missile at least keeps Yang away. There's no Ravage available. There's no Finger of Death. Now Ori will arrive. Yang, he's gone in pretty deep already. The Stomp won't be able to actually connect over on Ori. Maybe it won't matter. However, the cooldown. Yang's going to go down. And the Storm Ravage. Okay, that'll do its work right there. That may be it. GG. 23 minutes in. This game is over. Team Secret have just IO'd VG into oblivion. That was fast, unexpected.
I don't know what to say. These core IO strats seem so broken. It's pretty crazy. Secret executed the game super well. They got it as the 9th overall pick. They haven't played it, so Vici Gaming were absolutely not expecting it. And I love when teams come in like this and just really surprise out of the draft. They just flip things around. They have a new idea. Well, they have another idea.